Okay, I'm setting up my stream here. So, let's find the Windows download. I think I've got it saved here. Oh, nope, that's not it. Just search up here in the bar. How to download Windows 10 ISO, and it takes you right to the page. Voila! Well, you gotta click. It's usually the first image thing that pops up there, and then let's go download our edition. Okay. Windows 10 multi-edition. Confirm that. And we'll go through this. And let's see. I'm Hungarian, I think. And I'm going to pick English just for kicks and giggles. We'll do English, United States. Okay. And we're going to do it depends on if you're going to do 32-bit or 64-bit here. I got a 64-bit machine, so I think I should do that. I've already got it downloaded, but I'm going to download it again so we can see the timer. It's 10:57. Let's see. It's 10:57 now. We're going to write the time down when this is done. So, yeah, this is going to be the boring part. As you can see down here, 5.5 gigs download for Windows 10 ISO. You know, that really, I'm a long-time Windows user. I no longer have it on any of my machines. Having this VM on my machine makes me feel like I'm kind of a traitor to Linux. But the thing is, if the high gigs for the download meant that when I installed this product, I'm not going to have to update it when I'm done, that's one thing. But when you do a download of Windows, you know, you would think that you're downloading when you're downloading this directly from Microsoft.com, you're going to assume that you're getting the latest and greatest version of Windows, right? Which is 10. Well, it's actually 11 now, I guess, but I'm doing the 10. So I should get the latest and greatest 10, right? Which means I'm downloading everything's already on this, right? With the exception of, you know, finding my hardware on my computer and stuff that obviously Windows cannot possibly know what all the hardware is everybody's got on a machine, right? So, you know, with that as the exception, you know, it should be smooth operation. You know, there should be no going to settings and looking for updates, you know, and finding a crap ton of updates after you just downloaded the ISO from the company of the operating system, Microsoft. So anyway, that's what we're doing. It's 0.1 complete now. 4 hours left, it says. Okay, 3 hours. I think with the stream it might affect that. So 2 hours. It's going to be a while. I'm wondering if I should just, instead of actually going through this download to show you how long it takes for the download and that, since I have already got a very new copy ISO from Windows 10, we should, instead of saying it started at 10:57, maybe I should cancel this download, and we won't include that part. We will test a VM out with Linux and Windows without the terrible download. But just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. Yeah, because that's so ridiculous. Let's go type Linux mint.com and see if that pulls anything. I can't remember the actual name of it. Oh, that was right. So I'm going to go to download. Linux Mint 20.3 is the latest download. So let's go to download. Let's do the Cinnamon Edition. I'm just, like I've used Windows for so long. It's the most Windows-like experience that I've had on any Linux distribution. I mean, and XFCE, KDE does a pretty good. Some of those do a pretty good job at creating that same look. But Windows Mint or Cinnamon, just it's right out of the box stuff. Just works so well. And Linux Mint they're the creators of this system. So I mean, why not use Linux Mint, right? So let's go to the download here, Cinnamon Edition. Let's try to download this. Where is my download? Oh, right here. And where are we going to download it from? You can do from the world. I always go to America, find an American. I think I go to a college in Arizona to do mine. Or Clarkson. Maybe it's Clarkson. We'll do Clarkson. It's 64-bit. Let's see what okay. See the difference? This is going to be a 2.1 gigs. So it's not even going to be 3 gigs, okay, to do this. I've already got it on my machine. I got the freshest one. So I'm going to cancel that one too. These are the reasons why I dumped Windows completely from my system. I do admit I was reluctant because, it'd been years since I've messed around with Mint, or with Linux rather. I started messing around with Linux a long time ago, like in I think the late 90s. I'm wanting to say early 90s. I don't recall. I was working at Domino's, and a big guy I love to death brought in introduced me to Linux, and it was called Lindows, I think. So it was really nice. It was more Windows-like. So anyway, I don't even know if you could get Lindows anymore. But let's go open up VirtualBox here. So we're going to add, when you're in VirtualBox, you got to make sure, first of all, if you've got a 64-bit operating system, that you enable in your BIOS a virtual technology. Because if you don't, you cannot do a 64-bit machine. So we're going to call this first one. We're going to do Windows 10. It's already got Windows 10 64-bit ticked by default. So we're going to, let's see, where are we at? Windows 10. Let's do that again. And we're going to go next. And it's saying I need at least the recommended 2048 gigs of RAM. Windows resource hog, so we're going to crank that up tonight to 8 gigs. Okay, and it's recommending you want to create a virtual hard disk now. It's recommending at least 50 gigs. We're gonna crank that up too, because I may want to test the waters out with this while we got it up and running and everything. And add extra programs. And it's asking 50. We're going to crank that up to, we'll do 75. Okay, created that. Now we want to go into settings, work a couple of things. Go to advanced here on the general, and we want to be able to go drag and drop bidirectional from VM to host. Okay, don't need to do anything else there. In system, that's our memory. We don't need a floppy. I mean, floppies haven't been around for a long time. I can't believe that's even in VM. But CPUs, we could instead of using the 12 CPUs, we're going to just give it two CPUs. Don't need to do anything. Acceleration. This by default. Let's leave that like it is. Memory, video memory. It's actually low for. Oh, here we go. When enable 3D. Oh, there it goes. It goes. I'm just going to leave it at 128 though. It should be fine. Okay, and now the storage we want to add our ISO that we downloaded that we didn't wait for. We skipped. So we're going to come over here to this box and we're going to choose a disk. And we're going to choose that download. 5 gigs download. My lands. So we got that set up. Let's go to audio. That's fine. Network. Make sure that's ticked. Enable a network adapter. Serial, you don't need to do anything with that. USB, that's good. Shared folders. If you want to add any folders here, we'll go ahead and add a path to my documents. Choose. We're going to auto mount this. Okay. Okay. User interface. Everything should be. I could check off this stuff. I don't need any of that, but we're just going to leave that as is. Yeah, and now we're going to crank this machine up. Let's go to start here. All right. Let's maximize this so maybe you can see it better. See what I'm doing. Okay, go next. Install now. I guess it was around 11 when I started this. I actually do have a product key, but I'm not going to share that on here. Go Pro, so we got more features. Accept all license. And we're going to go to custom here. I'm not upgrading. And then we're going to use all the disk space that we created. That's the 75 gig VM we created. Like I said, you know, when you download, when it's done with this, and you're good to go, it'll be pretty quick, you know. Nobody's disputing Windows. It runs pretty good, you know. Windows really does. It's been around a long time. It's really slick. But you don't have the freedom you have with Linux. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you're an avid Windows user, then you do not own you don't own your stuff. You really don't even own your computer at that point, because Windows tells you what you can and can't have, applications you can and cannot have on your system. That's not the way it is with Linux. I can run anything I want at any given time. I could delete it. I mean, I don't need to add a special account to activate it. Once I download it, it's like it's already activated. You can use it. And you can actually use it from one of these, and this is a flash drive. Okay, you could run Linux from this little thing here. Okay, so you tell me. It's actually loading pretty quick here. 90% getting the files ready for installation. I like this, how the next feature it says, like right here is installing updates. What updates is it install? What updates is Windows installing at that point? Okay, really, what is it? I could remove the disk and VM, but you don't have to do that with Windows. Okay. Just getting things ready. I am running full screen. Switch. Whoops. Bring that back over here. Back here. Gives you more of a screen what I'm doing here. Drink of water. I'm out of beer. Actually, there's some. Wife works in a motel, and they leave her with all kinds of beer. So I got some PBRs in there I could be drinking in a can. Actually, last PBR I had was I stole my grandpa's PBR back in like 1982 or something like that. It's on Sandy Beach down here in Jefferson County, and I can't remember how old I was or what year it was, but I think I was like 11 or 12, and took three beers. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get smashed, and I couldn't stand it, man. I couldn't stand beer. Didn't help me. I drink it now, so just not Pabst Blue Ribbon. But I would drink it if I had to have beer. I would do Pabst Blue Ribbon. Skip. Okay, once we get this thing installed and we start, when we get my desktop up, and then we actually go to the update section, we will. That's when we're going to test. That's what we'll do, because I think they both load pretty quick. I think they're pretty close as far as getting the desktop up and running, with Linux being quite a bit faster. But we're gonna give Windows what we call a head start. So we're gonna start the time for how long it's gonna take Windows after we get the desktop up. And what we'll do with Linux is when I start the actual VM, alright. And we'll do a pin. I always ask you to do a pin. You don't have to do a pin. You could type in your long and complicated password every time. We're not going to do that. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we're definitely going to turn. That's one thing about Windows. That I guess they give you an option to turn some of the spying crap off. Of course, you tick these all off. They still have access to your stuff. I mean, obviously that's true. And I'm not going to click any of that. We're going to skip that. They don't need to know what I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to do the phone thing. I don't do OneDrive either. I actually do a debloat script I got from a guy named Chris Titus Tech. Check his YouTube channel out, man. He's an awesome, very awesome place to go for information you need about Linux or even Windows if you're a Windows person. But I think he's gonna be straight Linux for in one of these days. Okay. Not now. Wow. I just forgot how elongated this Windows installations were. maybe when this loads up, it actually changed my. I'm sure that the fact that my screen was like this when I wasn't in scaled mode on VM was because of my resolution on my screen was off. My monitors, I do 1920 by 1080, and so I'm sure that's why. I bet that's another thing. I bet there's not even an option for that because it's Windows. It seems like there's always something with Windows. I got my son's computer loaded. This is my son's picture. This is not mine. I don't know. I have no idea who this chick is and who her kid is. I have no idea who it is. This is my boy's. Okay. Get rid of some junk. Garbage. Actually, everything about Windows is garbage, but okay. What's this? Looking for Windows drivers, I bet. What happened? It's still loading. Oh, yeah, it's searching for. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. Let's quit OneDrive. Never did use OneDrive. It's garbage. They don't need to have access to my stuff. They already have enough access as it is, right? Okay, I'm cleaning this up just a little bit. When I did have Windows, I'm going to set it up how I would have Windows. I like my icon. I don't like this arrow crap. Taskbar. Can I remember this stuff? Oh, I bet I don't have an option in a VM. Taskbar. Huh. Well, that sucks. Ah, you need to activate. Yeah, buddy. Well, guess what? We're going to have to deal with the hero. We're not going to be activating crap. I do, like I said, I have a product key for it, but we're not going to do that in this VM. So, all right. It is... Oh, it's definitely not 8 o'clock. I'm actually in the Eastern Standard. 11 o'clock. Yeah, that looks more realistic to where we're at. Because I don't want to lie on these VMs. Make sure you guys can see that. All right. So it's when it clicks to 11:19, I'm going to click this update feature. And that's when we're going to start the time. I'm going to write it down too. Actually going to write it down right after. So we're going to start this at 11:19. I'm going to go ahead and write it down. I'm going to do it at 11:20, make it an even one. I'm going to be right back. Apologize. I'll be right back, and well, it's almost 11:20, isn't it? See, that's another thing, when you pay for a product, why is this? Why do you have to activate it? Shouldn't it already be activated out of the box? That's what you would think, right? So what we'll do is we'll mark the time it takes. We'll start Windows to show you the difference. We're gonna start Windows off at the update part, and here we go. Here we go. Get update. Check for updates. We're gonna get rid of this 11 crap. All right. Doing a resolution won't change the amount of time it takes for updates. Oh yeah, that's not right. And of course they don't have. Okay, this should be checking for updates. I'm going to Control F. Oh, no, I don't like it. Should already be checking for updates. I'm going to go 16 by 1200. This is the size of the screen, people. I'm sorry. Garbage. Okay, let's go back to. Oh, can't do that. Can't see my screen. This is going to do the recommended, I guess. And there is there isn't a recommended. You gotta be kidding me. So we're going to go to scale mode again. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go back to setting or updates and see how far along we are. Downloading a bunch of stuff here. Optional one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 updates. And we'll download and install the optional one too. We did give them a head start, you know, after all, so it's not like we're cheating to make Linux look better. Linux does a good job of making it look better anyway, without my help. So now, while that's doing that, I'm going to go see if there's a dip. Well, my luck is there's no dip. It's actually not a bad thing. Who needs dip, right? Who needs dip for their tater or their tortilla chips? Salsa or something would have been nice. Something to snack on, because it gets boring when you're activating Windows, man, or when you're loading it. Top 66%. See, this is the thing. Why? What is the reason for this? I just downloaded this from Microsoft. Why isn't this all updated? You know? Why is it such a big download if they're not gonna, the updates are not already on it? To me, that's certainly a con to Windows. These are good. So I can't change my background either. Nope. Isn't that crazy? It's saying restart now, and all the downloads and installations are not done yet. But once this is done, that should be the end of things, right? Should be no more updates. We'll just see what happens. What do you guys think? Maybe I shouldn't cheat for Windows and give them a head start. So we'll start the process at the same time. To write the time down. I don't know. I'm not changing my mind. I really think Windows or Linux will smoke Windows, even if I start from the VM section. One more download, huh? Or is it just one more download? Shouldn't be eating these chips. Yeah, we're gonna give Windows a head start. I started the Windows timer at 11:20 at the update process, and what we'll do for Linux is when I get the VM set up, when I go to start the VM to load it up for the first time to install it, that's when I'll start the clock on that. See who comes out on top there. So far, we're 10 minutes into this update. No. Alright. %. Wonder how much slack I'm going to get for eating these chips on stream. Enjoying my boring time of installing a Windows 10 VM. For those of you just tuning in, I started the timer on updating Windows 10 at 11:20. It's now 11:32, and there's one download left that's required before restarting. It's at 91%. When this is all done, when it's completely up to date, look at that. It's completely up to date. And when I click on the updates and it says update, you're up to date or whatever, I'm going to shut down this VM, mark the time down. Then I'm going to do a Linux Mint VM, which is a Linux operating system, widely known. And we're going to test it out. But when we test that one out, we're going to start that one at the stage of, like, you're turning your computer on, and starting your computer up. You're trying to load into Windows or whatever. That's when we're going to start the timer on that. We're going to show. I want to show you one reason. Well, I mean, there's so many reasons. I mean, during this, you're going to find out to completely trash your Windows and go to Linux. I mean, there's really the only thing holding you back is your click of the mouse or typing on a keyboard. I will say a lot of people who have seen Linux in operation, some of them choose not to go to Linux because of the word terminal. A lot of things are done through Linux like what you would call a Windows DOS prompt or a command prompt, whatever. And people are afraid of that, which Windows has got a shell, which so you do, I think doing the work in shell and terminal is just better for your computer. It just more chances of things not going foul. 100% downloading, so install that, hurry up so we can get this thing restarted. I don't know why big time companies use, like a lot of servers that you may pay to run your Windows on, they're probably running on Linux anyway. A lot of things run, you'd be amazed about what runs on Linux. because it's just faster, it works better. It just, the hassle isn't there. I mean, a lot of the servers I think are probably running on a Debian stable. Debian was, I think everything has forked off of Debian. There's either Debian, Arch Linux, or there's Fedora. Okay, those are the three, and pretty much, and people base their system off of one of those. They fork off of those. Maybe they see some improvements they can make, so they fork off of that, and they make their own distribution. That maybe they add some functionality, and then they upload an ISO, and that is their distribution now. That's a good thing about Linux. You could, it's open source, so you can do anything. You own that operating system. You don't ever, it's completely free too. Imagine getting something free that you can own forever. It's just amazing. So that's just one perk about things I like. I just don't know why people don't like schools for security reasons. They're always, they got all these garbage. I was successfully able to. I'm not going to put that on stream. Schools aren't really as secure, aren't really that secure. I don't think. And they're a pain in the padded butt. It's just like if something goes down, like so many things stop working for the school system. It's atrocious, and I'm really thinking with a Linux based that probably would not happen. So. I don't know how good this video is playing out on the internet. I am recording it too, so I could always just upload it, then add a link. My unit works perfect. Come on now. Is it ever going to install and pin the restart? Alright. Now this screen's come up. We're going to go ahead and restart now then. What I've been waiting on. Alright, now we're going to go back to updates. See what I'm saying? We're still doing updates. Your device is missing important security and quality fixes. Which I should have found in the installation of the process when it says looking for updates, installing updates from the very beginning. That's when it should find all this stuff. If there's any to go, after you download a fresh ISO from the company, if there's more updates, that's when it should find it right during that process, right? Now, 20 minutes into this, come on, man. I don't miss Windows a bit. Let's go OneDrive out, see if that's going to help speed things up. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for Microsoft. Go out of this, go back into it. I'm trying to help this. I'm trying to help him out. Yep. Goes into the mount I put on top of the bag. I already overdid it, so time to put the snacks up. I wonder if I should restart this, or should I just wait in silence? If I knew how to blur out the screen on a VM, I would blur the screen out and type in my Windows activation key, see if that's in the reason why it's not updating. It don't say it is. $24 into this, I would almost bet I can start another VM now with this one running and get Linux up and running way faster. And the beauty of it is, not just that it's faster, it just runs better. That's what happens when a team of people get around, get tired of the BS, and just make their own stuff, you know, so they don't have this kind of hassle. So just to try to help these people out, you're missing. Where did I pick this? It says downloading still. I really don't want to bug it up, you know, and restart it, but it just seems like it's Something just not working. Imagine that, a Windows operating system not working out of the box. Oh, there we go. It's installing finally. It's in the installation mode. It was at 100% for how long? Installing's 100% now. Glad I didn't restart the machine. Installing 100%. Now it's installing at 21%. Let's see. See, that's just the thing. They put so much crap. Windows puts so much unwanted crap. If you want apps on your computer, shouldn't you choose whether they get on there in the first place? Look at all this garbage. I don't want to mess up the updating. Oh lordy, 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 lordy. But I mean, this crap right here. I don't have any of it. I mean, what? All gone. Well, that is useless to have up there. OneDrive, OneNote, Skype, Spotify. I mean, all these apps that they put on your computer right out of the box is just crud. Now, if you wanted all those apps, I guess it would not be crud. If you want to run Disney, you want to run all these Windows things, the mail doesn't even work very well. I don't know if they fixed that or not, but there's been a bug for a long time in the mail system. Just a lot of this stuff is just absolute useless Xbox stuff. Why do you need Xbox on your computer? Oh well. All right. 21%. Come on now. I'm not rooting for you, but come on. We're 1 minute into it being 30 minutes since we started this. 30 minutes. Just for updates. 30 minutes. We didn't even add the time it took to install the daggum thing. 30 minutes just for the updates alone. Nothing else. Just updates. 30 minutes. Sad when you're such a smart man like Bill Gates is and use it for such crud. Why use your knowledge for this kind of garbage? This is garbage. Maybe he didn't do this one. I don't know. Smart man. It was a mistake for him to ever be terminated from the job. I mean, well, with the exception if he's doing anything evil, of course, he'd need to be terminated. But anyway, it's a long history. Not a fan of Microsoft, man. Not for a long time. I was just stuck, where I had to use it, like some of the games and stuff I wanted to play just did not play in Linux. But I just didn't know enough about Linux at the time to get it to work, But when you have something, I don't mind doing work like this, taking this long. If I'm creating something better, that I own, that I could choose what apps to put on, and that's another story. But even with Linux, you don't have to do that. I mean, you choose what you want to run. And why I picked Linux Mint, I actually running this on 3 of my machines here at the house. I'm a Arch Linux guy in heart by heart. Storm OS is an Arch-based Linux distribution that I use to for gaming and everything, and it does, of course, everything that Linux Mint would do as well. But and I could get Linux Mint to do my games too. I just I quit the game World of Warcraft, so I don't no longer play that. And the game that me and the wife play runs flawless on Mint, so there's no need for Arch. And the difference with rolling release and a static release is the fact that, like with Arch Linux, Storm OS to be exact, if the app that you have, as the developers made something more stable, if they made something better, and you had that app on your computer, you could get several different options to update a day. You'd get your little red icon on your bottom of your screen and your taskbar to update. Now you don't have to update. That's the beauty about Linux too, is you don't have to update. I would update once a week, regardless of that red light. My system ran just completely fine. I've actually got Mint set up to run automatic update. I don't have to mess with that. I have mine set to do it you could do it, however long you want. You control your system with Linux, unlike Windows. You got some update options in Windows, but if you completely delete your updates on Windows, it will F your machine up like something fierce. Because I've done it, but Linux, you don't have that problem. You just simply when they upgrade, like when Linux Mint comes out, let's say we're at 20.3. Let's say they come out with 20.4 tomorrow. All I'm going to do is type sudo at the terminal window, command prompt. I'm going to type sudo space Nala, which I use instead of apt. No, you know what? When on full upgrade, I always do I don't use the front end replacement for an apt package manager. I use apt for a full upgrade. So I would type sudo space apt space full dash upgrade, and it'll upgrade my system. I don't have to download a new ISO, get a new product key. I just type that in, and then after that's complete, I am in the new Linux. So, and all the apps I had on my system worked, like the mail app. Like I say, I had Office 2000, and say I had Ultimate Edition of what is it that I have? Office Ultimate Enterprise, whatever. I got an enterprise Office package that's got Excel and all that stuff in it, and it's got Outlook, a version of Outlook in it. Well, with one of the updates on Windows 10, that completely busted. Well, maybe it even happened in Windows 7. I don't remember, but it busted that app. Now with Linux, I use Thunderbird. Very good mail program. So when we update, as I update my Linux, it also updates that to work with it. So I don't ever have this thing to where it says to start now. I don't have to worry about my apps being broken. They just work. Okay, my printer works. If I had a printer I got 2000, it would still be working on my machine in 2022 with Linux. Okay. Windows, just they choose what you have. I don't know their reasoning. For that. I'll never know because I really don't care. I'm an open source dude now, 100% Linux. Actually, it's embarrassing to put this VM on to show you guys. It's actually embarrassing. I don't feel sorry for them. I mean, they've been spying on us and controlling us for years. People don't want to, admit that, I guess. So they stick around with Windows. Still updating. It's amazing. One thing I don't like about chips, maybe that's one reason not to eat them anymore, is they get stuck in my teeth. Because my teeth are bad, so. Okay. Okay, it's 11:57. It's almost 40 minutes into this. And let's see if we're done with the updates. When you close a program or an app out, why does that completely? It says check. It says you're up to date. We're going to check for updates anyway because you can't trust that thing on Windows. I would be amazed if this is the end of the updates. I really will. See? Why am I not surprised? Windows Defender. It's like their antivirus for Microsoft right out of the box. It needs an antivirus. Says we're up to date. We're going to check that one more time. When it flashes the green light, we're going to stop the time. And we'll write it down. It flashed the green time 11:58, 11:20 to 11:58. So we're 38 minutes into a install or updates. So just before I leave here, I want to check and see if I can change see if it's found any drivers for my. No, it never did. And it is a VM, so some of that's related because it is a VM that it's not going to find my actual video card to download the driver for. So I'm not going to fault Windows for that. They don't control what hardware we have. They just have a lot of input on if it's going to work or not, I guess, with their operating system. So let's close out of this one. Where did I go? Switch to full screen here. And we're going to close this out. Power off the machine. Here we are. We're back in VirtualBox, and now we're going to create a new VirtualBox. We're going to call this Linux Mint. And it shows up. It is an Ubuntu-based system, and it's on 64-bit ticked automatically. And look at that. It's only requiring 1028, where Windows was double that. I am going to do the same thing I did. I'm going to give it 8196 RAM. And it's only saying I need 10 gigs. And if you remember what Windows said it was, right? It was 50 gigs, I think. Pretty sure it was 50 gigs. So instead of the 10, though, I am going to give it the same amount that I gave Windows. I'm going to create. Now I'm going to go into settings and do the do the settings, advanced. I'm going to do the buy. I didn't even use that. I don't know why I do that. When I did Windows, I get rid of the floppy here. Memory 8196. Processor, we're going to give it 2 CPUs. Okay, display, we're going to give the max amount of display like we did for the other. Oh, let's do this. Let's do hardware acceleration. Okay, storage, we're going to add the just oh man, you know what? Crap. I just got the Windows in there. I didn't drag. Okay. Well, this is not included on the time anyway, so we're trying to rip off Windows. But the time will start when I go to start it up this time. Instead of I waited for the Windows time, I started it when I started the updates inside the desktop after it was loaded. It went through a process, of updating and all that kind of garbage. So I started the time right before that. And now on this one, I'm going to start the time when I hit start here. That's when the time is going to start for this one. Operating systems. Let's drag. Did I say I was doing Linux Mint? Drag that over to the downloads here, and that should pop up, and it did. Let finish transferring the file. Okay, so we're going to create the Linux Mint. Okay, we're going down here to audio. Let's make sure that's ticked on. It is. Network, it's ticked on. USB is ticked on. And we're going to add a folder. I'm going to add my documents folder. We're going to auto mount that bad boy. We're not going to use it. We're not going to use it. We're just going to mount it. Okay, and here's, let's see, what time is it? We're going to write, we're at 12:05. I'm going to hit the start button. It's 12:03, actually, yeah, 12:03 now. So we got 2 more minutes to do, use the bathroom, take a break. Feels like I shouldn't rub my eyes when my contacts are in, because I feel like I got crud in my eyes now. There we go. I'm pretty knowledgeable about both Windows and Linux. I'm certainly not the most knowledgeable, but I could usually answer questions. If like you send me comments or put a comment in, I could maybe figure it out. If I can't, I know, there's just the community in Linux is just, it's crazy awesome. My go-to guy is I go to his YouTube channel, DistroTube, DT, they call him DT. I listen to, I go to eBuzz Central is a good place to go. And Linux, I feel so rotten. This guy is pretty good. Linux. Assign. I can't even think of the other YouTube channel I watch, but Linux. Shoot, I feel so bad. I don't know why. That's crazy. That's where I go for information. There's some more. I just can't think of their names. Some of them I just started to. Recently, but I like to. I just like to watch them. Anytime you get a chance to learn Linux, I think it's a pretty good deal. Let's see, 12:05. Let's hit start. It's a little late. Let's bring this bad boy over, and we're going to do start Linux Mint. Control F to get full screen. it's already loaded up into the VM. And you could actually use Linux Mint from this function right here. All right, let's see if I can change my background. Go to System Settings, down here to Display. Let's see if I could change that to my actual (1920 by 1080), and I can't yet. Let's stick with, no, I don't want to do the recommended. Well, that gets rid of my desktop. Keep going out until we get the best screen. You know what? The heck with it. I'll just run it in scaled. Alright. Bring the screen back over here. Let's do it in scale. Alright. And we're going to, now this is when we're going to start it. When I hit install Linux. On the other one, I waited for it to be installed, then I went to updates and I started. We're going to do install Linux. Yeah, set up and double click. Linux out of the box is double click. Definitely want to install Media Codecs. Everything. Yep. Yep. My strong and complicated password. Strong and complicated password. We are 3 minutes into this. It says it's almost finished copying files. That's insane. Then it does the installation. Remember, it took us 38 minutes. 38 minutes just to update Windows 10. That's getting the desktop up, going to the settings and up Windows updates, and then clicking it until it says you're up to date. Let's see what this has got in out of the box here. I like everything. That's what I use. I use the Office Suite Library. I used to use only Office, but it wouldn't print stuff out that I converted, you know, from Windows to here to Linux, and it wouldn't print out very good. But LibreOffice did it flawless. So graphics, I'm definitely going to install another one called GIMP. Internet, Firefox. I don't really care for Firefox. I don't do the hex chat talk. I do use Thunderbird. I don't use Transmission. I don't use web apps. That's something you could. Let's look. Watch this. All right. Since I didn't like those, I could just uninstall that. I don't have to go to Code Over. I can just uninstall from there if I wanted to. But I'm waiting until this updates. This loads up. Before I do any messing around here, I always do my full upgrade first, and then I uninstall it. Let's see. Okay, backup tool. backup tool. I'm pretty sure the backup tool. Oh, it's Time Shift. Time Shift is sort of like it's the backup system for Linux. It lets you. It's sort of like the Windows Restore, but better in the sense of, it's it's just better. I'm telling you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna blow sunshine up anybody's butt about something to make what I like look better than what you like. You can run Windows all you want. If you don't want to own your machine, don't have the freedom, that's your choice. I like to own my stuff and have my freedom. A lot of people don't care about their freedoms being infringed on. So if you're one of those people, keep running your Windows. But I cannot support that. But anyway, video Rhythmbox is awesome. I use Rhythmbox. I'm already doing a codecs. This is actually not a bad app. If you've got internet, you could watch. There's a few free TV channels. You can watch TV. I don't use Silhouette. I use VLC in Linux. Office, I use that. Internet, I don't use that. I use Brave is my browser, and I don't use Google search engine. I use DuckDuckGo for my search engine and my extension. Okay, but it's pretty good. I'm not gonna have to do very much in uninstalling much. Well, I ain't gonna have to do any uninstalling on this because it's a VM and we're just doing a race. It's getting close to done here. It's not looking good for Windows, is it? I'm not gonna change the time yet until my system finishes up. Any changes I made to this anyway, it's not going to be present in the when it installs anyway. This is just the live environment. You could use this to get on the internet and do everything you got to do. You don't ever have to install Linux Mint, and it still runs. And that's another beauty of it. I don't ever have to install. I didn't ever have to install this. I could have used it as long as I wanted to. Oh, let me install, remove the install medium and hit enter. I'm going to hit enter anyway. Let's hope it boots in the... Yep, it did. Awesome. Let me hit my strong and complicated password to log in. Welcome to Linux Mint. You get this on boot up for the first time. Okay, and we're on the home screen here. So let's see if I can change my resolution now. Really not that important on a VM, I guess. But I'm actually adding to the time. I wonder why you don't have it. But anyway, it don't matter. Alright, now for the updates. I'm going to hit Control-Alt-T. That brings up what's called Terminal in Linux. You also, on startup, you got the screen. You can just click it with your mouse if you're a mouse clicker. I like using keyboard. I like using my keyboard. So I'm going to maximize this, and here's the command. Sudo apt, this is our package managers, full up. Okay, let me show you. Let's see if we got Neo Fetch out of the box. Alright, see, this is kernel 5.4.0.91 generic Linux Mint, running the Cinnamon. Okay, remember 5.4.0.91, hopefully that updates when I do the updates, but we're going to type in, go to the terminal here, we're going to type sudo apt full dash upgrade. That is going to fully upgrade the system. Put in my long and complicated password. Yes, we do want to install this. Look at her go. 1% done already. 2% done. It's upgrading Firefox. It looks like a lot of dependencies it's doing now. Libre, yeah, it's doing the Firefox dependencies. Mesa drivers, that's my graphics is Mesa. So maybe, you know, after this is installed, I could actually do everything I would do on my system if it wasn't a VM, and then include that in the time, and still beat the crap out of Windows. I like beating Windows. Why is that so awesome to me? I just like the freedom. Still in the Firefox. Doing a LibreOffice. It's 25% done. As far as the downloading of it, this is just like Windows. I mean, it has to pull the packages and then it installs it. So it's 27% done getting the packaging together. Maybe this will help you see better. See, this tells you right here. Right here, it is Ubuntu based. It's pulling from the Ubuntu repositories. The update manager is down here trying to tell me to do this. The welcome to update manager. I do the updates and everything in terminal. I never use, well, I do set preferences up, you know, and the update manager, everybody should do that. I want to make sure that I like setting it up for auto updates so I don't ever have to do anything, because I set it up to do it when I want it to happen, you know. I mean, I could wait a month if I wanted to. Can't do that with Windows. That'd probably be bad news if you did try to do that with Windows. Even Linux doesn't like you to wait that long, I don't even think, but I think I could probably get away with Linux not even touching my machine for a month, and never clicking an update, never typing in that command. I just typed and all my stuff would work, all my apps would work that worked before. So that's just the beauty of Linux. Okay, we are at 13 minutes. So at 12:05, yeah. We're at 13 minutes into this. It took 38 minutes for Windows to do the updates. It's not looking too good for Windows right now. I used to, you know, look for, I first started with Linux, since, you know, I've used for Windows for so long. I found myself spending a lot of time getting my Linux to look like Windows, and it's magically things just worked better when I stopped doing that and just went with what Linux had to offer. I mean, they have several different spins, you know, desktop environments you could try out. A lot of them are like this one right here. It's sort of like Windows. You'll see when I go into the settings and everything that it really looks Windows-like. So it just operates like Linux, which is way better and faster. Okay. I should have done the resources in the Windows VM. I should have went to see how many processors were running and how much memory is being used, and then showed you what it was like in Linux. But we're almost done with the downloading of the updates. Remember how long it took for Windows just to do that part. Here we go. Now it's extracting. And And the thing that scares people is the terminal for going to Linux, but I assure you, you wouldn't. I encourage you to learn the terminal, but I don't ever have to touch the terminal to do anything I want to do in Linux. I just use it because I like it better, and I just think it has I just think it handles packages and stuff better and faster. If that makes any sense, sort of like when you want an operation done and use another operation to get that other operation done. I like to pretty much eliminate the middleman and just use the terminal. To me, I just think it installs packages better. And when you use another resource, we'll call it third-party resources, although everything in Linux is way better, but still, I just like using the terminal. It scares people. I don't know why, because you really don't have to use it, and then you can actually switch to Linux, ease into the terminal. But like I said, you don't ever have to use it. So the only thing that's holding you back is you. It's not Linux holding you back. It's that grasp, that telekinetic grab that Windows has on people. I don't know how they do it, but it seems like they're making people think there's no alternative to Windows. They come out with this sleek-looking, elegant-looking system that just you have no freedom over. Looks aren't everything. And the thing is, Linux looks good as well as Windows, but it works better. It's just better. Coding is better. I haven't done a lot of coding per se in Linux, but not because you can't, not because it ain't better. It's because the game I wrote scripts for, I no longer play, so there's really no reason to code. Now, when I learn Linux a lot more, I might come out with, something. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're at 91% done, 93%. And we're looking at it's now 15, 16, 17, 18, like 18 or 19 minutes into this. I started at 12:05. It's 12:23, so it's 14 minutes into it. No, 14 minutes. That's not true. 17 minutes into it. Okay. Disconnected network. It's a lie. I see it connected right here. Actually, it's connected right underneath me here. Says, all right, we're not going to do this. Okay. Okay. We're not going to do you. It's going to want me to. No, I don't care about that. I got the VM. It's done. All right. So now we're going to type in sudo apt update. See if there's any updates available. None. Let's see if I can upgrade anything. Nothing. Nothing. So at 12:24, let's see. Let's show you on this screen here, so you don't think I'm screwing around with you. Up, the system settings. Do this. Up. Where's the date? There we go. Let's change this to VB. It's closer to where I am. 24 o'clock. 12:24. I like it to show the date too. Yeah, got the date. My Linux Mint is up and running. 20 minutes. So it beat Windows by 18 minutes, and I started from scratch, people. I started from the VM start menu instead of getting it up in this state and then going into the updates. Could you imagine if I started it up in the update stage? Okay? That's crazy. So I'm going to mess around for a little bit. Customize, I always go this closer here on my machines. I'm going to do that on this one. I go to the small icons. Okay, and I don't like the computer home on there. I just, if I want that running, I'll go get it. I do like the trash icons. I don't show icons from hidden monitors. Okay, there's that. I got my icon here. What else do I want to do? I'm going to check my display one more time, see if I could change that now, since it updated completely. I think it would. I mean, if I wasn't in a VM, it certainly would. I promise you that Linux is way better. But I mean, let's type in the terminal, pops up instantly. Let's see if they got HTOP installed out of the box. No. So let's install a program called HTOP. Should use Stacer instead. Stacer is way better than HTOP. Okay. This will show the resources. I've got 195. I got 96 tasks. I think Windows is like what? 195 threads. I'm pretty sure Windows is a lot worse. So, how much RAM? Okay, memory. I'm using 641 megabytes out of the megabytes that I own. I'm using only 7% of my CPU. So that's pretty good, right? It's pretty awesome. Close the terminal. See if they got Neo fetched out of the box. See if it upgraded. Yeah, they do. That's right. Neo fetch. What was that? Do you remember? Was it 5.4 before 91, or was it a different one? Anyway, it did the updates. Solution. It's just good out of the box. That's good out of the box. Now let's see if I could files. Let's see if my mounted. Oh, that's not where you go. It should be mounted here, and then it didn't mount my folder that I tried to share. Oh, that's my fault. Let me hit Control F here. I didn't download the special edition CD thing for the. I mean, actually, I'm not even going to do that. I completely destroyed Windows with time to spare. Let's even. I'm going to dump this. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to unpin this from the panel. Internet. I'm going to unpin this. Remove from favorites. Then I'm going to dump it. Let's see, am I still beating? Yeah, I'm still beating. So we're going to go back to terminal. Sudo apt. Yep. I'm going to try drag and drop. No, it won't drag and drop. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to add that program. See if Braden browser can be downloaded from here. Nope. Let's see. Let's see, it's 12:31. I started at, let's see, it's 20. Oh well. Let's see, it's 12:38. That's exactly 33 minutes. It's still faster. The 38 minutes it talked to him. We're going to end this video now. Let's see. Power off the machine here. Shut down. So there you go, folks. So why, oh why, would you want to run Windows versus Linux? See how fast and easy that was? And it worked just absolutely great.